You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Being Real, Part 4. We've been talking a lot in this series about wearing masks. That is the portrayal of someone you're not to other people or to another person. This is not to be confused with the natural caution that we would all have as human beings when we don't know someone or we meet someone for the first time. Then there is more of a time span when we learn to get to know that person or trust that person, and then we can reveal more of what's inside. This is not what this is talking about. We are talking about being authentic, real people who are open-faced and transparent. Strangely, we are drawn to people with unmasked faces. And the irony of the mask is that although we wear them to make other people think well of us, they are drawn to us only when we take them off. The most beloved leaders in the world, and many I can think of, were people that were really themselves. No pretenses, no false front. They never pretended to be more than who they were. And my suggestion to you today is to make a determination to live with an unmasked face. That is to try to never pretend or be different than I really am. You know, some people may even wear a mask of low self-esteem. So here's the determination. I will give up trying to please everyone in my life. I will pursue the courage to express what I truly value and enjoy, even if I think the person I'm talking to will disagree or disapprove. I will acknowledge openly when I get something wrong instead of giving in to the temptation to hide it or to manage it or to put a positive spin on it. You know, the central issue in substance abuse type meetings is to be totally transparent, totally authentic and honest. That is the starting point towards healing, towards great relationships. It's not being perfect, it's just being honest and removing hypocrisy from our lives, from our homes and our relationships. In fact, you could say that there is power when there's an appropriate self-disclosure in relationships. And there's also a kind of encouragement that comes from others in the faith and the church community that are authentic about sharing struggles. I mean, if a mother stood up in a church or a group and said, we have 4 children, a teenager, a 10-year-old and some younger children, but they're always such a joy. We've never had any problem with them. They just love God, they love us, they always obey. I think many of us would feel like puking, to be honest. But if a mother stood up in a church setting and said, you know, we've got a teenager that some days scares the living daylights out of us. We've got a 10-year-old that we caught on the internet the other day looking at stuff that we had no idea existed. We've got these 2 preschoolers that on the way to church were fighting and screaming at each other. And she says, I lost my cool just before I came in and listened to a message on patience. If you heard that story, the real story, you'd say, wow, I feel much better now, almost much safer and more encouraged to share my story. I'm not the only one. So authenticity leads to greater and deeper connection with each other. In fact, authenticity grows when there is safe community around it. And so again I say you can only be loved to the extent that you are known. You can only be completely loved if you are completely known. Actually, it's quite exhausting trying to maintain an image, a mask that is not who you are. Get some relief and take it off. And so we all want to know if something is genuine. It's one of the instinctive traits that all of us have. We want to know if something is the genuine thing. We want to know if people are real. Are they who they say they are? And whether their words actually match what they do. But you know something? God wants to know this too. That's why he said to Adam, Adam, where are you? I mean, he knew where he was, but he wanted Adam to come out with authenticity.